This is a talk that is mostly about what happens after you get the first 10 customers and how we can build like an inbound GTM engine. But I feel just to take a quick step back, right? Like the talk was really about inbound GTM, but I think it's more important to talk a little bit about the GTM strategy. So I've restructured the talk a little bit into talking about a GTM strategy in the first place. But that itself is also like an extremely large topic. I don't think I can do justice to it in about 30 minutes. So I have the unenviable task of talking about an extremely large topic in about 30 minutes. So just to make it super crisp and easy for you folks to take away something from it when this becomes relevant for all of you, I'm going to basically cover two things, right? Is there a... Haven't used this before. The last time I gave a talk was when I was 13. Okay. Before that comes up, maybe I'll just use the time to introduce Sprinto. I was anyway going to do it as a part of the slides. So Sprinto helps companies which are managing data get security compliances like SOC 2, ISO, GDPR, if you've heard of any of these things. We build the software that automates the requirements for many of these things. So usually if you do this manually, it takes about 6 months. With a product like Sprinto, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks in order to prepare for these things. So it's like a large difference in terms of how you can accomplish these things with and without a product like Sprinto. And depending on how many of you are already selling to customers, I'm guessing if you sell to mid-market or enterprise customers, they'd already be asking you for these kind of things. So the slides are up. So I'm going to do two things. One, I'll high level define what did we do when we were trying to build out our GTM strategy and why did we do that, the GTM plan, right? And second, I'll pick one specific area and talk about what did we do in that specific area to try and give you a sense of the depth involved in each of these areas so that, you know, when you do end up building these GTM engines, you'll get a sense of what is it that is required for building any of these engines. So that's the part that my colleague here, Kim, will talk about. He's the expert on that area. And I'll talk about the first part of it. So before we go into the actual, the GTM strategy itself, right? Just a little bit about the idea of the playground and the players in the space, right? So typically CTOs are the ones who buy the product. They realize that they need what Sprinto provides them just in the nick of the moment when one of their deals is stuck, right? At this point in time, they've never heard of any of these things. This is back in 21, by the way. Today, I think there is a lot more understanding of the space itself. But back in 21, people didn't know what this is. They start searching online or generally asking other founders, have you come across this? How can I avoid it, right? Like they don't want to go through this process. The first thing they want to do is avoid this process. And the general players in the space is, we had like a couple of very well-established, or basically a couple of players who raised a very large amount of money, 50 million plus at that point in time. The space was largely served by consultants. It was manual to do this part of the job. We are the ones who started automating the requirements of this. And the problem is well established, but the category is not. What does this mean? This means that the most important part, can I go back? Yes. So what does this really mean? This means that whenever people come across this problem statement, people are searching online, right? A lot of times people think of inbound GTM engines without actually understanding the buying behavior on the customer side. When can you use an inbound engine? You can use an inbound engine when your customer is searching for it. A lot of times people talk to me and ask me about how can I build an inbound engine for my startup. But the real problem is, if there is nobody searching for it, like the way Sid was talking about it, then it doesn't matter if you're trying to build an inbound engine. You can only build an inbound engine if somebody is searching for what you're building, and that has search volume on Google. That's the way you really find out if it is worthwhile to build an inbound engine. So having placed that part of the constraint, we had to make a decision in order to how to build out the inbound engine, given the constraints of, we had 2 to 3 players who are extremely well funded, so we can't do what they're doing. We made a plan that we are going to do some short-term things. Like Sid was saying again, momentum is extremely key. So you need to do a few short-term things which will give you quick results. You need to do a few mid-term things which will give you results in after a certain portion of time. And eventually you got to plan to do things that will give you non-linear results, which will probably take you an extremely long amount of time to build out, right? And eventually, obviously, our goal was to whatever you do on your inbound, we got to get to 70-80% of the lead volume that our competitors are getting, because that's the only way you can really beat your competition. If you're not in the deal with your competition, it doesn't matter. You could have the best product in the world, but it'll be the best kept secret, right? So it's extremely important to think about the GTM engines in a manner that you are going to get the kind of reach that your competition has, right? So these were the 3 constraints that we had when we were trying to build out the inbound engine. This is all back in 21, by the way, right? So what did we do on this part of it? Actually, there is one interesting point here. Again, a lot of people ask me about this, events. So I'm guessing most of you are seed funded here. Anyone with a Series A? Great. So not too many people. Anybody with seed funds, right? Like, it's very common and very enticing to go and set up a booth and talk to customers and think that you will get like a lot of customers from these events, right? Events are like very expensive and give you close to nothing, right? Like, it causes a lot of FOMO. We also made that mistake. But the first thing, as soon as our head of marketing joined, he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're just wasting all this money on events, right? Like, events are one of those cases where our competition was present all the time. It was causing a lot of FOMO for us, but it's just something that we cannot do. They have like 10 to 15x kind of money as compared to us. So we can't do what they are doing, right? So to give you like a quick idea of what are the kind of things we can think of, immediate things, ads, small budget, 10K, try putting some ads on keywords, try to see what's the kind of leads that you're coming your way, iterate on it, etc. Right? Midterm stuff, outbound, the one that Sid was talking about, takes a long time to build. It's iterative. You need to learn how to do it. Lots of work to do there, right? Even VC partnerships. Long-term, interesting stuff, SEO, content, partnerships, etc. Again, takes a really long time to build. Just to give you like a sense, that's about 9 to 12 months for you to build, right? So if you just do that, it will kill all the momentum in the company. So it's important to spread out the kind of things that we're doing while building out the inbound channels, to do some stuff which is immediate, do some stuff that's midterm, and do some stuff that's long-term. Cool? Sorry? No, USD. You can start with something as small as 3 to 5K as well, but then you'll have to do it yourself then. Right? Without 10K, it's difficult to get external help. So among these 3 things, we are going to focus a little bit specifically. Like I said, 30 minutes is too short a time. The key takeaways I wanted all of you to take away is that, there is a short-term stuff to do, mid-term stuff to do, and long-term stuff to do. And in the long-term stuff, SEO and content was our largest bet that we made. It's also because it's something that we understood a lot more closely, because this is my second startup. Built another one called RecruiterBox before this, largely driven on SEO and content there as well. We understood that a little bit better, and that's the bet we made, and started building out the team for that. And that's where my colleague here, Kim, will talk more about what did we do there and what are some of the tips you can take away when you do build the SEO team.
Kamraj here. So I have spent almost 13 years in SEO. Professionally, I have 9 years of experience into companies. I think during my college days, I started doing SEO. I think back in 2010 when I joined the company, college, and then I started exploring Windows. Right at the time, it was very new. I was from a remote village, and then I started searching for Windows 7. I think it was the time it got released, and then I got an idea why this Google, how this is actually showing these results. And then I built a blog. It was Blogspot at the time. It was free from Google. You can actually build anything on the Blogspot. Right. So I just copied a couple of content from 2 to 3 websites, put down. I think I started ranking in second position. Per day, you don't imagine, other day I was getting traffic around 1 lakh per day. And I spent some 1 week time and then started applying for Google AdSense. I paid my college fees. I think 3 years I spent, I actually 3 years I actually paid through the college fees, spent the money on my college fees. That's how I started this. And I'm at Sprinto now. And I've helped companies go from 0 to 1 Notion. And some of the companies I'm at Sprinto now, Kishflow, Storyline, and all this, right? And I can tell SEO is my everything. So this is actually give me motivation. I can call this as a drug. When I rank a keyword in number 1, it feels like, okay, I'm winning the world, right? And especially when I joined Sprinto, SOC 2 is really popular. ISO is, Indian market, ISO 27001. I know from my childhood, I've seen this in every place, ISO. Before I joined, I had very tough question to ask to my leaders, right? Marketing leader, Raghu, and everyone. What is this? What you guys are going to do? And then looked at the space. Okay, man, this is competitive, have to be there. So that's how I joined Sprinto. I think I'm here to talk about what we have done in the last 11 months. And you guys actually can take 5 points from here. I actually put down 5 pointers that you can use it in your 0 to 1 Notion. I'm sure if the company is already built, this is not going to help. I think there are 2 Series A which people can actually maybe working on these items already. But if you are very new to this, I'm sure this 5 points will help you to grow the things, right? Without wasting time. Yeah. So this is the growth which we got it in 11 months, right? If you look at the growth, we actually have, this tool gives us 60 to 70,000, but actual number is 1.5 to 2x of the number what we see here, right? So look at the competition. As Raghu mentioned earlier, all the competitors has 10 to 20x of the money we have. I think they are smart. Raghu is very smart. He can't beat them in the ads, because when I run an ad, they again bid high. They high and bid high. We also increase the budget. We realize that, okay, this is not going to work out, and we double down the effort we do in SEO. And clearly it tells that we are well ahead of the competition, even though they have very good amount of money. And you can see that we can proudly say that we are the largest reach in the market in terms of compliance, right? It's not only India, it's mostly into North America. We are getting almost 60% of the traffic from North America, right? This is something interesting we have built. So 5 key takeaways. Before that, don't think I'm going to give any tips or tricks, right? These tips and tricks will change every now and then. Google release an algorithm tomorrow, and the tips won't work, tricks won't work. So you should actually get something which is valuable for us to go and implement. So that's the idea here. I'll start with the basic one, right? This is about content. So anyone who thinks content is okay, just underline that content is okay. It is very much important. So when you want to build an SEO engine, try to hire a SEO content team first who are really confident on the product, who understand the content better than you, and then who understand the product, who knows your customer, ICP and everything. And if you don't know about, if you don't have any knowledge on the SEO, it is okay. but get the right content people who can actually solve the problem. That is very much important. So second thing, right, it is about strategic approach, right? People may actually talk about multiple items here. Say they will tell you to rank for X, Y, Z keywords. Raghu also mentioned that you have search volume, build a page for it, rank for it, go for it. It don't work like that. So try to build a mind map of your product and your customers, what they are going to search, what are the different terms they will actually use to find you. So what we have done, this is one of the framework which Sprinto has, which is SOC 2. This is actual mind map. I just took a screenshot and put it here so that everyone will get it, right? So I think this is, 6 to 7 months back, Raghu, right? So we got together in a meeting room and then we spoke about it, what things we can do. Okay, let's get into the product details. I just put down the major subcategories, overview, TCS, TSS, scope, frequency, all this. And then we went down to the subcategories of subcategories. And I can see there are 30 to 50 categories here, subcategories here. What we have done is we went ahead now, we expanded this categories or subcategories into keywords. There were a number of keywords we got. You can't imagine that we got more than 1,700 keywords. We are actually supporting 15 plus frameworks at Sprinto now. Just imagine how many keywords we might have got. Right now, the next step is we have to put the priority, which one I have to focus, which one I have to pick, where the customer will actually fill out a form, where they will actually ask for a demo. There are a number of items we need to think about. I can't directly go and build a page for after I get the mind map. Now, you might not have all the features which keywords has. And you should ask, okay, which are the keywords I have to focus most, put the intent, priority, then talk about everything. Right, with this, we went ahead and created the customer journey now. Okay, this is very interesting. I remember my head of marketing was asking me, okay, Kim, you started writing and I know you have started getting traffic, but I don't know you are getting, whether we will get leads or not. He was not confident. So what I have told him is, don't worry, we are actually building for customers only, not for Google. So we will get the customers. So how we ensured is, he asked me, this is again a real thing which we have put out. So I told him, okay, let's say SOC 2, I know we are almost 80 to 90% of people are founder here, right? And I'm sure that at least 80% people won't know SOC 2. Maybe we know ISO. Before I come to Sprinto, I never know SOC 2, there is a framework called SOC 2. So let's say, as Raghu said, mostly customer will try to look for SOC 2 when they have a need, right? They go to Google and search what is SOC 2 compliance, or is what is SOC 2, and I want to be there. So when they found my website and what is SOC 2, I'm sure they're going to read about it, and I have a small pointer to talk about Sprinto there, right? Sprinto can automate it. And I'm not going to directly tell that, promote it, but I have to be there in the first place where they are searching for SOC 2. And there are some technical terms, controls, report, and checklist. This will help them to understand whether they are ready for their SOC 2 journey, and I am giving them an option to download now. Interestingly, they will download it because they are very new to this. And there are two ways to do SOC 2 again. One is manual, one is automation. And we are doing automating. And I'm actually reducing the time frame of automation. We are just telling them, okay, do it in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? And when they are downloading it, I'm capturing their email IDs. And I know I will put them in nurture, send them an email and make sure they are getting warmed. And this will also go to SDR and see if they are really warmer, then we'll get some more action. And we also have something called calculator here. Okay, this is interesting. And we have a SOC 2 calculator. When people are looking for to buy the product at the end, no, they will look for what is the cost they will actually spend. There is no fixed cost for Sprinto, right? It actually goes on top of the how many users you're going to get SOC 2 for, what are the environment you have, what is the cloud you're using. There are a number of checks, right? So what we have done is we created a calculator and asked people to try it out, again by giving their email IDs. And we know people are going to fall in this, who are coming to this particular page in Google. Through Google, they are my customers who are prospects, who are ready to buy my product, right? And then only we will talk about SOC 2 automation. So I'm actually understanding my customer journey here, buyer journey here, from A to Z. You can see the tools is coming at last again, right? This is how it have to be done. So imagine where you have to start, your customer journey start, where you have to end. I can tell you why this will work. Right? So the building for the mind map will help you to build topic authority. Okay, when you talk to multiple people in the marketing, no, people will say you have to build backlinks, you have to do rank for X, Y, Z keyword, you write 15 articles, 20 articles, but no one talks about topic authority. Everyone will say that your website speed should be very fast, your should be mobile optimized, number of items. But when you have topic authority, then only Google will trust us, right? Let's say why Google have to rank your website. Just ask yourself, what is the input you're giving to users and Google to rank you, right? So now this is one of the high volume keyword, which is HIPAA, has more than 450,000, right, search volume, and we are ranking in snippet. And we have done something right, which worked for us, and that's evident here, right? So start from content. Sorry, I think I did something wrong here. Can someone help? I don't know what I've done.
Can you bring the presentation back up?
Yeah. So basically, you should understand your customer journey and build SEO from there, not just build a content engine or just ranking the keyword. That is very much important. Yeah. Yeah. So till now I have told you what you have to do. Now I'm telling you what you should not do, right? And especially when I think till last year I was helping companies as consultant also, right? And I was talking to number of founders. And one thing I understood is everyone want to grow, but no one has patience, especially when it comes to SEO, right? SEO is not a short-term thing. As Raghu said, it will take 9 months to 12 months to build your thing. If you're not going to wait for 12 months, don't build it, right? Especially people who try for 3 months and then stop it. I remember there was a founder who approached me and I was talking to him. He worked with me for 2.5 months and he said, your service is bad. I said, no, it's just getting started. Let the tree grow first. Don't tell me that don't cut the tree before it grow, right? That was the funny thing. And now I was talking to different people during this lunch break. Everyone was asking about generative AI. What are you going to do? And I have tools to generate content. Why should I hire content writers? What do you think about this? I had this in the back of the mind. Okay, tools will give you content, but do you think it will solve your ICP? No, right? Anyhow, you need a content writer to write content, help you to build the ICP, help you to show what Sprinto does, for example, as we do have a strong content team. I'll talk about it. So that's how you should do. Other problem I feel is once you hire a consultant, feel like you have a magician who will do everything. Don't feel like that. You have to also help them to grow. Yeah, mostly last thing is building backlinks, and this is the term which people use very openly, like in the industry, right? When they talk about backlinks, you should actually go and build 100 backlinks, 20 backlinks. They will have a number to it, and you have to pay to them and do it. Don't go towards backlink. Just start with the fresh content. Give the clarity to the customer who are going to read the content, and ensure that you are a brand there. And if you remember when I showed that journey, the customer will actually go through every page on Sprinto website, and they mentally will know Sprinto now. Okay, Sprinto is there in the compliance automation, and we will also run ads there, right? So there are different touch points which ad can talk about, but there are different remarketing campaigns. Once a customer comes to my page, we will run ads to the people who read my content more than 10 seconds, 15 seconds. There are different checkpoints we have. So and this cycle will continue. Yeah. Yeah, now we have spoke about what to do and what not to do, right? And this is the place I will just tell you when to hire, right? So you can also, I think most of them are pre-sale, and spending is also very important. And for sure, if you get an SEO expert in the first month, and you are going to actually waste your money. They are not going to do too much without any content. They may actually tell you, okay, I can do multiple items, but they're not really going to do anything. So first hire your content team, start from there, hire a proper content lead who can actually understand the product and the journey. So they can actually churn 8 to 10 articles, increase the number, that will give you advantage. How many articles you are going to publish, that is going to give you advantage. And similarly, After a point of time, you understand, okay, there is enough amount of content in the website, then you can actually go and hire a lead. And don't hire a junior person. Again, they will screw down or slow down your process. So get a guy who is into middle level, who understand the funnel, the marketing journey, then you can actually help, they will actually help you to grow you from 1 to 2, right? So don't hire SEO at first. I'm just telling you, get a strategist and who understand the science and art, and who don't understand, who just talk about, okay, I will rank your keywords. I can do magic. Don't get them. Hire a proper strategist and work with them. And then get a full-time guy. So you can also look at this as a pointer. And as I said, the founder who reached out to me and worked for 2.5 months, he don't know what success metric he need to track. And when I started working with him, I gave him a clarity, but somehow he was not patient. But I understood what are the pointers you have to track when it is an initial journey, right? When you started, just keep articles as your goal, consistency as your goal. Make sure the article quality is a goal. Don't just go to the numbers. And this will put pressure on yourself that, okay, my channel is not working, whether I have to stop or whether I have to move. Just make sure the content engine actually starts. So that can be your quarter one. This is actually quarter based. And second quarter, you can start looking at impression and traffic as a goal. Right? Impression means when an article start ranking in Google, Google actually giving an impression in your search engine console, you can look at it. There is a tool where you can look at impression and traffic as a goal, start attributing to your team. And this is the time, as I said, 6 months later, your full-time guy will come. Now drill him. Give him a ranking goal, traffic goal. Okay, so this is the place you are actually going to see the result. Let's say first 2 quarters, you got 1,000 traffic per month. Now he is going to take you to 10,000, right? So give him a realistic goal also, because I am an SEO, I know the pain. It takes a time to build. Yeah, and the fourth quarter or so, start looking at the leads. You can start telling them get the leads, but don't expect leads internally. Just feel like you're not going to get leads for first 3 quarters. Just keep that mindset. And then after that, whatever leads you're going to get, it is going to be free only. You're not going to spend on ads or anywhere. Right? Build the engine first. So this is very much important. I think this are the 5 pointers I wanted to share. Yeah.
I think we have 2 more minutes. Any questions? Too deep a topic, huh? Can the technicians in the back help us? Yeah, maybe.
I would like you to walk through that once more, little bit in terms of, you put those column headers and you put certain data. What are those? I mean, those are keywords or topics? Or
as I said, it's categories and subcategories.
Can you walk that through once more, please? Looks like that's the key.
Yep.
Thank you.
So let's see, when you talk about overview, what are the different subcategories I have to cover? Let's say when someone looks for a SOC 2 compliance, they will also look for benefits of SOC 2 compliance. What benefit they are going to get? What are the different challenges when they are going to get SOC 2 compliance? So why they need a SOC 2 compliant? And similarly, type 1, there are types. These are like very top of the funnel. Similarly, when I look at audit, so what are the things they have to do it in audit? What are the best practices? What are the exceptions they can have? What are the tools they have to use to do this audit? So these are categories. And as I said, let's say when I talk about types, type will have number of keywords. SOC 2 type 1 cost, SOC 2 type 2 cost, SOC 2 type 2 audit, SOC 2 type 2 challenges. I can drill down this to, as I said, 1,750 keywords I got from these 50 major categories. Get the categories and subcategories first.
Yeah, the idea of putting this here is so that you understand when you're hiring your content lead, right? Because we are saying that your content is lead is the first person to hire before SEO, right? So a content lead should be talking about the mind map. Basically, the person should be grilling you for your startup in terms of trying to tell you that, look, this is what I need in order for me to make a mind map that will give me like a pipeline of content to write for 3 years, right? This is the important takeaway from here. Right? This I don't think you need to build, or you need to have the expertise to build, but your content lead should have the expertise to build this, and they should be pushing you to do this.
Can you define?
Yeah.
Can you
That's a good
bit
question.
more about that? Yeah, because I haven't heard a lot about it.
Yeah, that's
in
a very
general.
good question. So topic authority, let's say Google, there should be a logic for Google to also rank your website, right?
Absolutely, I completely concur with that.
Yeah. So let's say I create a website. I'm let's say I give an example. I'm a SEO guy, and I know how to rank the keywords. And let's say I rank for a keyword called, let's say I have an headache. There is a customer who is looking for a headache. Okay, that customer looks for a headache tablets, and I'm ranking a random keyword. And as an SEO guy, and then he takes a tablet with my suggestion, and he take this tablet, and then he is actually going out of control, right? The tablet might not be the right tablet. I'm not a doctor to give advice. So Google actually tried to go in depth to understand who is talking about what and what kind of topics I'm talking in the website. Let's say whether I'm serious in the business or not. For example, this A to Z of the things Google already know. SOC2 has, because there are a number of websites in the industry which is talking about this. So I should get the credibility that I have everything to talk about SOC2 in the website, and I am really, really serious about this business, and that gives an authority for me to talk about. Right? For example, A to Z of any subheadings, if I have in my website, I have more authority. It shows that I have the business seriousness, and I'm trying to help the people to grow. Right? Google actually gives it back. So topic authority is not any metric you can track by yourself, but it is something you can actually grow it when you grow with the business with the content.
Basically, once again, topic authority is one of those things where your SEO lead, right, or your SEO consultant should be talking about. The way to get topic authority is this. Again, the mind map is the key, like you were calling out, right? Like the point is, if you have the mind map and you're writing about all of these content, you will automatically be considered for topic authority, and that will basically rank you. If yeah, I summarized it well. Yes. Yes, this is the input process. Basically, the one key takeaway that I would like anybody in the room to go away with is that there is a process or a science to basically doing SEO.
So, so do you? Yeah. Cool. So, do you suggest using generative AI? And if yes, what should be the right strategy today?
Yeah. This is the question I get asked everywhere, and even I'm feeling my job is at stake every time I look at it, right? Even my content team job, right? But honestly speaking, the content which the tools are generating are not for human specific content, and it is robotic content. And I myself read the content. I'm not feeling engaged with the content. There should be someone who needs to have that human touch on the content, which is going to help people to read it, pitch it, and let's say if you have the human specific content only, you can convert it. It is going to evolve. I'm not stopping that. Don't use it. I'm not going to tell that. Use it, but for the best purpose. Let's say at my content team, they use it as the first case study, and then they build the content on top of this, and then this goes for multiple iteration internally, and then the best thing comes out. And we are not against AI, because my competitor is generating 10 content a day. I should actually go to that pace. If I go with my human, it will just three content per day.
So I'll give a more founder answer there. The fact is, your AI cannot really generate the mind map, right? This is dependent on your product. This is dependent on your strategy of how you are basically thinking about the user journey, right? So what the user's buying journey is. So those are the parts where you can't really replace anything with generative AI, right? Like once you've decided this, once you've decided the keyword, then you can get the first draft from there. You can make your content writing style better. In fact, I think it's a great advantage for India with generative AI, because our writing styles get more westernized. You can actually do edits faster. All of these things can happen.
Makes sense. Thank you.